It's 2020, a new year and the start of a brand new series of angling adventures. Welcome to the Journeyman's Tales. Monday morning's drive to Blackthorn Fishery came at the tail end of Storm Dennis, and with many parts of the country in flood, including the rivers Towie, Wye and Severn, our journey had a few diversions to avoid floodwater and landslide. But we arrived eventually to big southwesterly winds, low pressure and plenty of rain, and a warm welcome and a fishery looking in fine fettle, if not a little sodden. And the warmth and comfort of the South Lodge gave us plenty of shelter while I put together the tackle for the week's fishing. Well, here we are at Blackthorn Fishery. Arrived yesterday afternoon, moved into the South Lodge, got all the gear sorted out, spoke to Carl, the bailiff, who pointed us in a few directions as to where the fish had been coming out, although he did tell us that nothing had come out for the weekend and nothing had come out the previous week, although a great deal of fish have come out since Christmas with quite a number of 30s and a couple of 40s. So we've either missed the gold rush or we could be in for a real treat if they haven't fed for a bit. We were at the tail end of Storm Dennis, which seems to be calming down a bit. We've had torrential rain all night, but it's stopped obviously at the moment, and there's a threat of Storm Ellen turning up towards the end of the week. But we're here, we're out doing it. Rods are in the water, we're in with a sporting chance, and when it all kicks off, you'll be the first to know. Well, while there's a lull in the action, so to speak, and it stopped raining, I just thought I'd give you a bit of heads up of actually what I'm doing. The middle rod is fished about 12 wraps, and that's straight out in front of me virtually, and that's just my normal wafter rig, but I've got a cut down pop-up on there to make it into a wafter. That's fished with about 3 or 4 spods of my usual spod mix over the top, so he's just got crumbed up live system boilie with some corn and just a handful of maggots gone in this time, which is something I don't normally do. A right hand rod over to the island. I'm fishing a bag and it's just got a finer mix in there with a few maggots. And the the left hand rod off to the other island is a homage to Terry Hearn, and if that kicks off, I'll tell you all about it. Well, not a great deal to report, unfortunately. We're into the, I don't know, what are we, 3rd morning maybe, and nothing to report actually. The left-hand rod on the margin with my homage to Terry Byrne. Hasn't done anything. The one straight out in front where I put a bit of a spot over hasn't done anything, and the one on the right-hand margin hasn't done anything. So I'm using that as an exploratory rod and putting bags all over the place, just trying to find a bite, changing colours of the pop-ups. Who knows, sometimes it does make a difference, so changing it around, just scratching really to try and find anything. But seems I don't think that the homage to Terry Byrne is going to work. Anyway, that's it. That's the kitty. A bag of casters. They can't resist them. Well, they can, because they are. But we'll keep plugging away with it. And I don't know, we've got another day and a bit to go. So fingers are crossed still. Water temperature is really cold. I'm not convinced that all this rain that we've been having doesn't have a detrimental effect. On most waterside fish, if you get too much rain coming in, it does have a detrimental effect. So we'll see. Anyway, in the meantime, huddled around a cup of coffee trying to keep warm. Yes! What is it? It's been about 7:30 on the Thursday morning. The storm helling is starting and we don't care. Because the repositioning of the bait's paid off. Alright. Calm yourself. Yeah, £23, 3 ounces. I am absolutely delighted. Absolutely, the rain is running down the front of the lens. Happy days. There you go. Yeah. How about that? February 20. Well, it hasn't stopped pouring down with rain and blowing a gale since I caught that fish this morning, so it's now about up to 1 o'clock. It's calmed down a bit, skies are brightening. First opportunity really to do a bit to camera, to a bit of an explanation about the fish. Well, yesterday evening I gave up the left-hand rod on the island and I put that 12 wraps in front of me, fishing a hinge stiff rig. With a pink pop-up on it. Now onto that I've got that bag there is just crumb. This bag there is maggots. Now they're tied onto the actual swivel because I don't want anything hanging on the hook then, because that'll straighten out the curve on it. And I've got the hook just into that bag of crumb there to keep that out of the way of the maggots. So that's been out there, and the boilie is topped with a couple of maggots as well. So that's straight out in front of me at 12 wraps. New middle rod now is fished with what you've all seen before, my standard wafter rig with a bag on. The right hand rod, I'm still fishing a bag rig in that, but that is now fishing with a Milky Bee pop-up on it. The left hand rod has now got a Milky Bee pop-up on it because the fish came to a Milky Bee this morning. They all went out of 12 wraps last night, and I baited 4 spoms over the top of each one, and then within half an hour I was getting liners on the middle rod. So I had three liners, and then I decided it was about time I moved it in, so I moved it into 10.5, and it all went quiet. But that was the rod that went off this morning. So about 20 minutes ago I've redone all 3 rods, so they're all now fishing at 10.5 wraps. I've put a line of spot if you like, from one side to the other, and hopefully it may kick off. It seemed to be half an hour before it was getting dark the liner started, so hopefully the baits will be in position if they come back to that same spot, and I've no reason to doubt that they wouldn't. But we might get another visit maybe this evening or early in the morning. Mind you, we've got to start packing up fairly early in the morning, and anyway, it's starting to rain again, so I'm gonna go and hide in the dry. If anything exciting happens, I'll get back to you, obviously. Fingers are crossed, but I'm happy I've actually caught a fish that's taken the weight of pressure off. It's 1:45 in the morning, the wind has dropped down, it's gone very mild, and life is wonderful. And I'm getting old and weak. There we are. 34, 2 ounces on my faithful Milky Bee wafter. Absolutely thrilled to bits, and we've only got a few hours before we have to be on our way, so I am chuffed to bits. Let's turn around. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Absolutely delighted with that. Fantastic. All too soon we've come to the last morning. Unfortunately there was no rain forecast, so we'd pack up in the dry. But I'm hiding around the back of the lodge because it's blew in a hoolie again. You can hear that bobbing, bouncing around in the wind. I don't think they're playing my song yet. And the rain is getting harder and harder, so I'm going to make this short. But I've had a cracking trip, culminating in that 34 last night. And I have to thank Carl for coming out of his scratcher to take some photographs and witness the fish. Big thank you for Charlie for letting us on here. This water's been incredibly kind to me, and I do appreciate it. But it's time to get the rods in and get home. Hopefully some of the flooded roads are cleared by the time we get there to make the trip a bit easier getting back. But thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers for now. It's all I need, isn't it? Take your glasses off, Jennings. What am I saying?